No matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's play together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? How lovely to see you. So nice to have all of you here. I'm Reverend Tracy, and delighted to welcome you into this community of love and support and fellowship and fun. Because, you know, it's easier when you have fun to remember all this really important stuff, like how magnificent you are and how much we can support and love each other through and as anything. So I am happy to have you here. I want to welcome our friends that are online. Everybody wave. We know that our community is larger than these four walls, and for that we are blessed and very grateful. So this morning we have our practitioner on platform, the beautiful Patty Powers. And we have a musical treat this morning. We welcome back Kat Adams. So good to see you, accompanied by the ever wonderful Jeff. And we are going to start with a song. I'm going to invite you all to stand. The words are in your bulletin. Spirit is in this place. All right, taking all that joy and goodness and pulling it in. Invite you to just get comfortable, take a breath, and let the sound of the bowl bring you to your heart space. For it is here that we find the seat of joy, that place of balance and peace and harmony. And it is from this place that we remember that you and I and Spirit are all one.
And so in this oneness, in this joy, we relax and have our being. And we just breathe. Breathe in that joy, and breathe out the joy. And in this place of joy, we know that all is well. We know that despite the clouds outside, it's sunny in here. And we bless today. We bless this service. We bless our minister. We bless our music and our musicians. And all the people that it takes to put together this wonderful day. And in this joy, we also know that each and every person who listens to this talk today, whether now or later, here's something just for them, a message that makes them think, a message that makes them feel. And we are grateful. We are grateful for this time, and we are grateful for this service. And so we just let it go. And so it is. My reading today is from the original 1926 Science of Mind textbook. And I promise it's short because I know that these are hard to take in sometimes. And the title of it is Place No Limit on Principle. Know your own mind. Train yourself to think what you wish to think. Be what you wish to be. Feel what you wish to feel. And place no limit on principle. The word which you speak would be just as powerful as the words which Jesus spoke, if you knew it. But know this within and not only without. After all there is mental action and reaction. If you have reached the point where the inner consciousness produces all things, then your word is simply an announcement of reality. There will come a time when demonstration will no longer be necessary. Know that when you do a treatment, the act takes place in infinite mind. Infinite mind is the actor, and you are the announcer. If you have a vague, subtle, unconscious fear, get still and think, who am I? What am I? Who is speaking? What is my life? Think right back to principle until your thought becomes perfectly clear again. Such is the power of right thinking that it cancels and erases everything unlike itself. It answers every question, solves all problems, is a solution to every difficulty. It is like the sunlight of eternal truth, bursting through the clouds of obscurity and bathing all life in glory. It is the absolute with which you are dealing, and nothing less. And let's welcome Kat.
So great to be here. I love this chapel. It's so great to see your faces that I haven't seen in a really long time. God, it felt so nice. Thanks for welcoming me back. All right. This is a James Taylor song and one of my favorites. He's good. He's pretty good, right? He's pretty good. He's all right. There ain't nothing to since we're only here for a while, might as well show some style. Hey, give us a smile. Isn't it a lovely ride? Oh, we're sliding down, we're gliding down. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. Now the thing about life, time isn't really real. That's the truth. It's just your point of view. So how does that feel for you? Einstein said he could never understand it all. Planets spinning through space, that smile upon your face. Welcome to the human race. Isn't it a lovely ride? I'll be sliding down, gliding down, and I'll try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. Isn't it a lovely ride? Oh, go sliding down, gliding down. If you try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. 'Cause the secret of life is enjoying the passing of time. That's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. So lovely to have you back. It's nice to see you. All right, so we have a new month, we have a new theme. Well, it's new every day, isn't it? But we'll start with May. May the 4th be with you for the fans out there. Well, you guys are easy today. Good. Come on, we can light that flame. Here we go. All right, there we go. One more time. Let there be light. So I light the candle for our theme. Our theme this month is Raise Your Voice. It's the theme of the magazine. Put in my little plug. We're trying to get that Science of Mind magazine to its 100th year anniversary. So if you don't have a subscription, you might want to consider getting one. You can get one in print or online. It's on sale. And what I love about the magazine is that I can pick and choose what suits my mood, and I'm always uplifted, whether it's an article, a column, or a daily guide. So we light the candle for raising our voice to know that our spiritual self is always looking for a way to express. And when we use our own voice to express our own spirit, everyone around us benefits. So the title for this week is I Am, as in I am that I am, as in the name of God. And it has to do with the idea that we know ourselves in order that we might speak clearly, and that we might have a sense of our own power no matter what we are talking about in our lives, no matter what we are expressing through our own sense of personality. So we're going to look at ways to support and improve and grow our self-confidence and to hold steady. Hold steady in the face of conflict, in the face of difficulty. Hold steady when the winds of the world are blowing all around us, to still know who we are, to still know our own power. And the idea of this I am is to really embody the idea that what we speak creates our reality, right? Science of Mind teaches the word is the thing. That's what we set in, that's what we use to set things in motion. And I want to ask you, you know, how many times on a given day do you start a sentence with the words I am? And how often are those things positive? Aren't you normally saying things like, I'm tired, I'm behind, I'm so busy, I'm broke, I'm. So tell me, what are the things that fall out of your mouth that you might consider negative if you were paying attention? What do you say to yourself? I am tired, stupid, worried, too busy. There's more. Broke, clumsy, lonely. Yeah. And our word is what creates our reality. And so when we say it out loud, especially the things that we say to ourselves in the dark over and over and over again, we're actually creating an energy of life. So now try saying something that you are, that you would consider positive. I am wonderful, healthy, alive, in the flow, generous, perfect, strong, full of energy, friendly, rich, light, here, loved. You're a George Clooney lookalike. Laughter is healing. But do you feel the energy in the room? Do you feel the energy in yourself? Just that one or two sentences or the words that resonate for you. The thing is, we respond to what we say just as much as the universe responds to what we say. And so the call is to raise up our words. It's not just raise your voice. Let's start by raising our words, raising the consciousness with which we speak. Because it's that energy that creates our experience. So I have a story for you. It's I apologize, I don't have the author, but it says, I remember my dad teaching me the power of language at a very young age. Not only did my dad understand that specific words affect our mental pictures, but he understood that words are a powerful programming factor in lifelong success. One particularly interesting event occurred when I was 8. As a kid, I was always climbing trees and poles and literally hanging around upside down from the rafters of our lake house. So it came to no surprise for my dad to find me at the top of a 30-foot tree swinging back and forth. My little 8-year-old brain didn't realize the tree could break or I could get hurt. I just thought it was fun to be up so high. My older cousin Tammy was in the same tree. She was hanging on the first big limb about 10 feet below me. Tammy's mother also noticed us at the exact same time my dad did, and about that time a huge gust of wind came over the tree. I could hear the leaves start to rattle and the tree begin to sway. I remember my dad's voice over the wind yelling, "Bart, hold on tightly." So I did. The next thing I know, I heard Tammy screaming at the top of her lungs, lying flat on the ground. She'd fallen out of the tree. I scampered down the tree to safety, and my dad later told me why she fell and I didn't. Apparently, when Tammy's mother felt the gust of wind, she yelled out, "Tammy, don't fall." And Tammy did fall. My dad then explained to me that the mind has a very difficult time processing a negative image. In fact, people who rely on internal pictures cannot see a negative at all. In order for Tammy to process the command of not falling, her 9-year-old brain had to first imagine falling and then try to tell the brain not to do what it had just imagined. Whereas my 8-year-old brain instantly had an internal image of holding on tightly. This concept is especially useful when you're attempting to break a habit or set a goal. You can't visualize not doing something. The only way to properly visualize not doing something is to actually find a word for what you want to do and visualize that. Well, that changes the way you talk to yourself, doesn't it? That whole idea, I grew up always feeling behind. In my family. We were always trying to get somewhere. There were 3 kids, 2 working parents, a babysitter, 2 different schools. And I don't know what happened to the clock in the morning between 6 and 8, but apparently it sped up all the time because we were always late. And so I grew up always late. That was a very ingrained pattern for me. And it took a long time to switch from I don't want to be late, to I have time. There's enough time. I'm going to be fine when I get there. To shift the energy of what I told myself or what I was, quote unquote, encouraging myself to do or to be. So we have the ability to create a different experience because our word is our power. Our word is what sets creation in motion. We are creative. We co-create our world. And the experience we have is the effect. So if we want to change the effect, we have to change the cause. We have to go back to the truth that is within us. And we may physically feel tired in a given moment, but that's not the truth of us. The truth of us is we are sourced by infinite energy, and that there are many, many ways for us to replenish and renourish and renew ourselves. Ernest Holmes has a lot to say about this. He talks about this idea of the I am as tapping into that source of power that's within us. He says, the I am is both individual and universal. Individually, it means the life principle within us. Universally, it means the thing itself, in other words, the power and presence of life. In the universal, it is the living spirit. In the individual, it is the spirit individualized as us. I am that I am means God. It's incarnated in the very I that we are. It's in our body, in our form. There's a universal I am, an individual I am, and each one of us is rooted in the universal to the degree that we recognize it. He goes on to say that we are a co-creator with God because we use our imagination, our ideas, our inspiration to build the life that we want, to take the next step, to create a new path for ourselves. And when we do that from a foundation of source, when we are rooted deeply in what truly nourishes us, then the actions of our lives reflect that. So he says that the tree of life flourishes in our experience when watered at its roots with the quiet contemplation of the union of the soul with its source. We can't be separate from spirit. We are spirit, individually expressing. Our consciousness is rooted in this divine presence and should branch out into all of our actions. Our actions are the fruit of the tree of life. So when we find ourselves saying something negative or less than supportive, when we find that our actions are not meeting our intention or the way we want to show up in the world, we are to go back to source. We are to remind ourselves in a greater way of what's true, not just what's happening. We are all sort of at the mercy of what's happening if we're not paying attention, right? That gust of wind shows up in all kinds of ways. The thing is, that inner voice can be kind of quiet. If we get really quiet, maybe you can hear it, but it takes practice. We're so used to just reacting to everything. You know, we put our defenses up in order to protect ourselves before we go out into the world, before we turn on the TV, before we have dinner with family, before we get into one of those we need to talk conversations with our significant other. The first thing we do is defend ourselves, not necessarily ground ourselves. We do much better to ground ourselves in what we know to be true. When I just picked up my friend Jennifer and her wife from the airport at LAX, and she had been up north at a memorial for a family member. So she spent the whole weekend surrounded by people that, some of whom she hasn't seen in years, and family members that she doesn't see very often. And it was a Catholic mass, and it was beautiful. She said the ritual was lovely, and the priest was fantastic, and it was still a lot of people. And I don't know, you have days where it's too people-y out there. I have days like that. So what she and Colleen did was on their way to the airport, they hiked a trail. They hiked a trail. Like on the way from the memorial to the airport, there were a few hours, and there was apparently a little walk in the woods, up north Portland area. It's gorgeous. It's green. It's lush. There's critters. There's redwoods. They hiked a trail. And she said, I knew I needed to do that because I'd been around so many people all weekend long. That's what it sounds like and looks like when you are grounded in your source. Because the source reminds you that you are part of something bigger than whatever you are experiencing in the moment, that you can open yourself to a better experience of life right where you are, as long as you don't let yourself be confined by habitual thinking of, we go from the service to the hotel, get our bags, and go to the airport, and then we fly. No, there's time. You stop for a cup of coffee. You have a little walk. You walk along the water, wherever you are. Wherever we are, source is. Whatever we're doing, we can pause. Whatever we think has to happen probably doesn't have to happen. We have room. We have possibilities. We have the ability to root ourselves in something greater than we are so that we are best equipped to handle whatever comes to us. There's a commercial. Nike does great commercials as a rule. Excuse me. And there's a new one out. Aaliyah Boston is a up-and-coming WNBA women's basketball star. She's young. She's just starting out in the professional league. She's a great player. And they've talked about, her coaches have talked about, her teammates have talked about that she's a natural leader, that give her a little room. She's got a voice, and she is really great for the team, even though she's brand new to the team. Well, she has this commercial, and it's all these little girls wearing T-shirts that say girls on them, and they're all saying, I'm a leader. I'm a leader because I'm responsible. I'm a leader because I speak up for myself and others. I'm a leader because I am a strong example. I'm a leader because I'm caring. The name of the organization is Lean In Girls. And it's about her understanding as she grows into her own ability to be a leader, that is to be shared with the world. And see, when we know the truth of ourselves, we can't help but put it out there as a form of service to others. When you know what you're good at and somebody is interested and it gets you talking about it, you get all excited and you start teaching them about what you know and love. Now, sometimes it falls on deaf ears. You can tell me all the recipes you want. I probably won't make them. They won't taste the same even if I did. But to have you share your passion, right? If somebody, I like watching The Voice. And I love it when a contestant maybe doesn't quite make the mark when they're first trying to get on, and the coaches say, do you have another song you could sing? And so they sing some song that they love, that they hadn't really prepared, but they just start singing it, and everybody goes, okay, come back and do that. Come back and do that, and you're in. We are most powerful when we know ourselves and when we root and ground ourselves in what is the truth of us, not what is expected. Not what the world says, not what labels somebody gives you, not what role you play. I noticed nobody said, I am a professional builder, I am a sister. Nobody said that. Everybody said what your heart is. And that's the power, right there, right there. We have to know what we're rooted in. We have to know that we can achieve a higher consciousness and experience when we go deep. We have to know that we are to speak our truth often. That means you have to say more I am wonderfuls than I am tired. You got to shift that balance. What happened with Jen and Colleen is that they got to this I am, and they were exhausted from being around all these people in this new environment and the travel and all of that. And their willingness to be open allowed the universe to say, oh, you're grounded in spirit. Let me show you a new way. Let me offer you a path maybe you hadn't thought of. Let me inspire you to go home a little differently. When we know our source and we speak it often, then the universe has an opportunity to say, oh, yes, let me support you in your self-care. Let me support you in renewing and refreshing yourself. Anybody ever have one of those days where there's just, well, I know you all do, there's just like one thing after another, after another, after another, and then somebody cancels, and you go, whoa, this is really great. Yeah, the universe is saying when you know the power, you know where your energy comes from, and you tap into and affirm that, then I'll show you ways to have more of that. And one of the ways we have more energy is when we're able to take time for ourselves. And so that's what shows up. We are able to better show up in the world when we show up for ourselves. We can't be the voice of reason. We can't speak up for others if we're not able to speak up for ourselves. It has to be us. Maya Angelou says that I have to stand up for myself because I can't expect anybody else to stand up for me if I'm not going to stand up for myself. Our own Reverend Miriam had a talk a couple years ago, several years ago, it's called Love is Fearless. And she said the best way to arrive at higher consciousness is to have great faith in the willingness and ability to love one's self. And what does it mean to love someone? It means to want the best for them, to reach out, to nourish, to support, to encourage. It starts with the I am that we carry, remembering the universal I am that lives within us, so that the personal I am can show up as its best self, so that we can become who we can see in our minds that we are meant to be, so that we can be the light that we know is so needed in the world. We're here to speak truth. And so I invite you to see if any of these resonate with you. Love expresses through me. I am Spirit's presence when I'm in the presence of others. I express truth, and the compassion of Spirit flows through me. I know exactly what to say and how to listen. I am a healing and guiding light in the seeming darkness of pain. My emotional and spiritual health is a beacon of truth that lights the way. My personal freedom and oneness with Spirit connect others to the power and presence within themselves. I know I am able. I know I am compassionate. I know there is nothing but God in me as I serve others in this way. So it is. Namaste. So even though that sounded a bit like a prayer, let's take a moment. And breathing in this energy of power, this sense of self with a capital S that rises up within each of us, proclaiming that that which is Spirit is also in me. How good it is to remember that all that life is love. And as I open myself to life, I become a channel for love. And that love shows up in my words, in my thoughts, in my actions, with others and also with myself. For there is a place in me that is nourished by that spirit of oneness, that presence of the one that is in me and all around me. And as I recognize it in myself, I see it in others. I see life opening up before me in ways that I can't even imagine, that uplift, that nurture, that nourish, that support me and all that I will do, all that I am, all that I wish to be. And as it's true for me, it's true for everyone, that this desire of the heart to live our best lives is inherent in every human being. And as I recognize that, I too am a channel for love that nourishes and supports and lights the way for another. And in this way, the unity of spirit lives through and as each one of us. In this way, we move together, rooted in love, acting as love, seeing spirit everywhere. For this is the truth. And in this truth I am grateful. For in this I am blessed. And as this I am a blessing. And so it is. I invite you to join me in saying our affirmation, which you will find in your bulletin. Please repeat after me so that our online friends can participate. I am the spirit of joy within me. I am the spirit of joy within me. I am the spirit of peace within me. I am the spirit of peace within me. Of poise and of power. Of poise and of power. I radiate life, I am life. I radiate life, I am life. There is one life, and that life is my life now. There is one life, and that life is my life now. And so it is. And let's invite Kat to come back up front and sing to us some more, please.
I think you'll enjoy this song. I know I do. It's brand new. Never sang it before today. We've been having a good time with it though, right?
Yes, we have.
All right.
A little participation with everybody. Okay, let's do it. Now back in the day we used to call these roller skating songs. Can you feel the roller skating? I want to you clap your hands, that's all right. Keep it on a 2-4. It feels so good to meet you this morning.
Very fun. Very, very fun. Love that. Oops. Chiming things away. All right. So let's do a little collecting, shall we? This is our time of contribution where we take all of that joy, all that love, all those clapping hands, and give of that spirit to this community because we know that we are the community. It's not really a donation, it's a contribution to the things that we hold dear. So say with me our prosperity affirmation, if you will. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. For those of you online, you can give online on our website or in our e-blast. There's a link. And we also have, a donation basket in the back. We also have text to give. You can text an amount to a phone number that you set up with your financial institution, and that will come directly to us. All different ways that you can stay in touch with us. So thank you for that. So we have our weekly meditation on Wednesday via Zoom with Nisa. If you have a moment on Wednesday at 6:30, you can tune in via Zoom and take a break from the week and remind yourself of all those spiritual truths that you find so helpful. I want to let you know that we have our memorial service for Reverend Miriam is Saturday the 17th, so that's a couple weeks from now. It'll be at 10 o'clock in the sanctuary with a reception following in Holmes Hall. I met with the family yesterday, and they're just so appreciative of this community and what it meant to their mother, and for the opportunity to see all of you. I know some of you know them all, and we had a really good time just talking about Reverend Miriam and her, I said, what do you want the tone to be? Do you want it to be kind of formal? She was a woman she was a minister. She was a woman do you want a robe? Or do you want a little more casual, a little more flow? And they both went, oh, flow. We want flow. Love and peace. Those were her words. So there you have it. So that's Saturday the 17th at 10. Reiki, we had talked about possibly moving the Reiki share date from the 17th, but actually the times will not conflict. So Reiki is not being moved to the 24th. We're going to keep it on the 17th, and that will be at 2 o'clock. So a different time, but at 2 o'clock here in the chapel. So you can, if you want to go to the service and join us at the reception, you'll still be able to take advantage of the Reiki share healing process here in this room at 2 o'clock. We still have some openings on the AV team. If somebody wants to help Ed out on the first Sunday of the month, this is your big opportunity to sign up. I'm just telling you. You two have a lot of fun back there, and there's all kinds of real cool switches and buttons, and, you can mute my mic if you want to because you're at the controls. I mean, just think of the power. If you're interested, talk to Ed. He'd be happy to get you set up. And then I am not forgetting the flowers this week, but these are very special flowers. I would like to invite Reverend Mary to come up front, please. Oh, she says. Now, you all know Mary's been in school for a while, and she's been working as a minister for a while, and then she finally reached the end of that particular chapter and has passed her ordination panels. So we will be having an ordination party, and these are for you to take home, because we know that, of course, you're a minister, right? Of course she's a minister. We all know this. So I don't have any details yet. We'll have to figure out a date, and there will be a party and, lots of stuff. So sometime this summer, we'll be celebrating Mary's ordination. So congratulations, my dear. All right, you're welcome. Anything else as far as announcements go? Anybody? All right, I'm going to invite you to stand up, move to the side of the room, and sing along with Eddie.